Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier with a rundown of the progress within Star Citizen for the last 365 days. Today, precisely 1 year ago, was the day that I decided to make content for Star Citizen. I had 4 subscribers and I set a goal of 200 subscribers by New Year. Make it or break it, if I didn't reach that goal, I would stop. I want to illustrate the progress made by CIG in 1 year by reviewing the topics that I covered since I began. I want to also say that I've been totally humbled by the community. Many of you took the time to offer feedback and suggestions. Without that help, I would have never known those areas for improvement. This upped my tempo and delivery, resulting in better quality, and for that I thank you. We begin on the 10th of December last year. I got creative and rebranded my YouTube page, ordered a Blue Yeti microphone as an early gift myself, and did some research on editing within Adobe Premiere. You might find this funny, but the 4 subscribers were actually people that I knew in real life. My wife and 3 of my close friends. We were playing 2.0 just after the anniversary sale. I was very behind the content curve. Most of the mainstream tubers had already had everything fully covered. I did a couple of short videos tackling how to buy a ship with LTI tokens and how to use the new cross-chassis upgrade system. It was actually the first ship shape segment on the Drake Caterpillar that got me a proper boost. I noticed all the content creators were pumping out videos on this new information. Each had a good deal of information on the Caterpillar, and I was happy to see that they each focused on what was important to them. I decided to offer some unique perspective. Rather than just talking about the stats, I wanted to detail some aspects that stuck out to me. This was the Caterpillar, and it was finally rendered in game engine. I was really excited to see what CIG meant when they said modularity. I knew that this would be the backbone for all future modular ships. The video went over 500 views in 7 days. I had 100 thumbs up and my first 12 subscribers. With patch 2.0, if you lost a part of your ship, it resulted in a higher top speed. I took that to the next level by testing it a bit more scientifically. Running ships in Murray Cup with and without missiles resulted in a significant change in the top speed. The video did really well. It was a topic that nobody had covered, and it was very well received, especially by the racing community. It hit the Reddit main page for a couple hours and I finally reached 20 subscribers. It was at this time that my friend Mike was trying to learn Star Citizen. I spent about 10 minutes just showing him parts of the HUD. He said that I should make a video explaining exactly what we just went over. The content was very thick and there was a lot to talk about. After about 8 hours of scripting and research, it was very clear that this video would be well over 15 minutes. The idea made me very upset because I personally hate watching long-winded videos. I decided to split it up into a couple of sub 4-minute videos, which became the core mission statement of this channel. No bullshit. I would never make my viewer wait through a long intro, and I would always format my content short and to the point. Lag or lead pip was the video that explained the center of the HUD, and Power Systems explained the economy of power and balance. I finally had 40 subscribers. I managed to get those first 2 videos out before we got a look at Planet to Pupil. That demo was truly impressive. There was a reoccurring mention of procedural generation within Star Citizen. I had a fairly vague idea what that meant, but in the process of researching it for my own knowledge, I ended up with a clearer answer and the topic for my next video. That video was very well received by the community and the interaction was positive. Looking back, this was the video that further defined the future of my channel. A fully fleshed out video explaining a very complex topic in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I was really happy with that format and I had 75 subscribers. I parked the HUD series and went to tackle the weapons and hardpoint systems. I must have spent 2 days of my vacation researching and adjusting a script. That time I isolated my mic with foam and I waited until midnight to record the audio to ensure a better quality. The video hit 1,000 views in 48 hours and then tapered off quite quickly. I had 120 subscribers. I continued with the ship systems videos, pushing out thrusters explained in 4 minutes and missile tracking systems in 5. That was when I finally hit my goal of 200. I decided to keep going to see where this would take me. So the 7th of January was a day I would never forget. I left work, changed out of my uniform, made a coffee and sat down on the couch to watch Around the Verse. My phone started to go a little bit insane in the other room as I continued to watch. It only took me a minute to find out why. Sandy and Aaron announced that my weapons and hardpoint video was worthy of MVP. I can't tell you the specific emotions I felt. It was so wonderful. I watched it again just to be sure that I wasn't going crazy, and then I called my wife who was still at work. Stormfire962 got into Discord later that night to congratulate me. We had spoken on and off about Star Citizen in the past, and during our talk, I got an email saying that he had donated $100 for a giveaway. I didn't actually understand it at the time, but he loved Star Citizen so much that he just wanted to help me grow my audience. The gesture was truly genuine and we have since become good friends. The Gladius he donated was raffled off and it was a major boost. I sat at 1,730 subscribers. The baby PU was becoming stable and it was the first time that I saw the real potential of Star Citizen. When I took out a Connie at Port Alsar, Before I took off, 3 random players got on board. 1 sat in the co-pilot seat and 1 in each turret. Without any drama, we went to the comm station, 1 player got out, completed the mission, and then got back in. The video, What Happens in the Baby PU, was that mission, but with my thoughts about the future of the game voiced over. That hit 3,200 views in 20 hours. When I was talking about that video with my org mates, we decided to take out the brand new Vanguard to explore how well multi-crew would currently work. The video, Exploring Multi-Crew Gameplay, was derived from that 2-hour play session without a single crash. The game was finally demonstrating the potential I wanted to see. I hit 1,800 subscribers. I started to work on the Deadly Loadout series, which continues to do very well. The Vanguard, Delta, Gladius, Avenger, Connie, and the new Saber. Each video saw a small jump in subs and I was having fun. I was now just over 2,000 subscribers. Gamer Nate, who's a variety gamer and a content creator, started a new series that highlighted the top 5 new YouTubers in a given game. That day was for Star Citizen, and he called out my channel. It was a really nice shout out and a great boost. I was now at 2,300 subs. We finally knew that 2.2 was coming out, and with it, a possible change in how we're going to fight in Arena Commander. Up to that patch, the Super Hornet was the king of the sphere, and the Saber would be out very soon. I put my perspective into an 8-minute video on how I thought it would change everything. 3 months to the day, February 10th. That was the day that I found myself in a Skype call with Board Gamer and Twerk17. They explained to me what Redacted was and what the team was trying to achieve. They wanted to push quality content by collaborating for the benefit of the community. They said that they liked the no bullshit style and they'd asked me if I would like to join the team. I told them both something that day, that I would push harder to become a YouTube partner and make a proper go of it. I'm so happy they took a chance on me that day. I had hardly any subscribers and I was still trying to figure out where I was going. Their friendship and support means everything to me. Shortly after that, I did a full rundown of Voice Attack, how to program it, and how to get the most out of it. I had no way of knowing at the time, but that video would be why I met Paul and Gary from HCS Voice Packs and Voice Attack respectively. 2,500 subscribers. I started to work on 6 videos as part of the new weapon series. A complete comparison of all the weapon stats with insight on where they might excel and what situation you would need it for. During a live stream with Brickyard44 was the first time that I really got an appreciation for how complex the local physics grid was. The 5-minute video breakdown struck a chord within the community. Also, immediately after that, we got a huge Easter egg from around the verse. We saw a player walking on a planet. A procedural planet. I was totally stunned. They'd casually demoed a working planet at the end of ATV out of nowhere. Many content creators reported on it, but I felt that nobody really gave it remotely the credit it was due. This was a massive component of the backbone of our game. I put some effort into a script, and it was the first time that I tried an editorial style video. It was launched live on Twitch during the Not So Sober Saturday stream with Grey-Headed Gamer. The video took off and went viral. The information was there, but the video included what it all meant to me. 3,300 subs. A solid jump. STL Youngblood produced a very cool video idea where he called out other creators from the community. He said that he liked the no bullshit delivery, and that endorsement that day made me very happy. It was a great one-day boost to 3,600. After his video, I condensed the process of joining Star Citizen for the first-time buyer into a 5-minute video called All You Need to Know to Become a Star Citizen. It had a really slow following, but the free fly kept the community clicking for over 2 weeks. Many people commented that it was a very big help to get them started. Just before May, I was approached by HCS, who makes voice packs for Voice Attack. They had great success making products for Elite Dangerous and wanted to start supporting Star Citizen. I started to work with them, offering suggestions and testing the profiles. On the 5th of May, their first profile for Star Citizen was launched on Around the Verse with a short demo that I prepared for Orion, voiced by none other than William Shatner. That release also had a sister video launched at the same time, which was a deep dive into the workings of HCS voice packs and what they could offer the community. To this day, I continue to make the same style demos for Paul as he continues to find new talent and make new voice packs. I'd been using a HOTAS Warthog for about a year, but an org mate of mine, Echo, told me that once you go dual stick, you'll never go back. That triggered the purchase of a T16000M to test and resulted in a video. The dual joystick versus HOTAS had a snowball effect. The video was pretty popular and it forced me to seek out a proper left-handed Warthog. I got in touch with Okona, who at the time was the only person I could find who had one. He agreed to make one for me and then decided to also offer more in the future to the community. While I was waiting for that, my wife and I found out that we were posted to Ottawa. We're both in the military and frequent moves are normal. The new house had a large open space in the basement which allowed me to plan out a proper streaming room for making YouTube content. It may sound totally stupid to invest that much time into a hobby, but for me, the return of contribution is very easy to identify. The room was built as an ongoing project, but the content continued to be made. Mid-May, we got the second ship shape segment on the Caterpillar. As luck would have it, I already had a working script for the ship. During ATV, while I sat on the couch, I pumped out a quick script and started to record the audio. I wanted to be the first with the video as I knew that it would be a hot search right after ATV. Now by this time, my appetite to grow my channel was in complete overdrive. I'm very competitive and very driven. I'd set my mind on the task of growing the channel, so I was looking for anything that I could use to help. The video did very well and I was now hovering around 4,000 subscribers. Item ports in 2.4 meant the very well received death of what's known as the holotable, a look into the future user interface and a better way of customizing within the game. In 2 minutes and 6 seconds, the video explained everything the player would need to know. This video happened to hit exactly at the right time because there was a bit of a buzz about the new patch drop. 4,500 subs. 2.4 also launched a new weapon, the Pyro Burst Size 3 Plasma Shotgun. The weapon seemed fairly broken right from the get-go. I did up a video where it went to 5% speed and it appeared as if the projectile pellets were hitting each other immediately out of the barrel and then exploding. The video resulted in a Twitter message from a dev at CIG thanking me for the contribution. On the 12th of June, the Buccaneer Should You Upgrade video was produced right after the concept sale and directly smack dab in the middle of my move. Such a cool ship with some very capable weapons. Its cost made people question the higher price of the mainstream fighters. The video tried to shed some light on the new ship and to prevent people from buying something that wouldn't suit their needs. I can't wait to see the Buccaneer in engine. The room build was continuing to take shape. I wanted to produce a very dense and complex video that citizens could use to explain the game. Star Citizen in 3 minutes and 49 seconds took off and became one of the best performing videos ever. 26 July. Grimhex was hyped in a short segment on Around the Verse. We would finally have a second location to spawn in from in the Baby Persistent universe. The video was a quick rundown in 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and I was close to 5,000 subscribers. The room build was finally finished. It's my office, streaming room, recording studio, and where I game. I now spend a fair bit of time in that room. It improves my audio quality, but more importantly, it ensures that the house stays quiet no matter how loud the gaming is. I learned so much from planning that room. My very good friend Kyle built the room, which has 8 walls, 2 ceilings, and 2 doors. The result is an isolated anechoic chamber. It's exactly what I wanted. The build log video was a huge investment in time because it includes time-lapse footage. I knew the video wouldn't perform well, but I made it anyways. A very select few of you liked the process, and the video stands as a record of what was done for the sake of YouTube. It was about that time where Monster Tech contacted me and asked me if I would like to review their controller mounting solution. It looked really promising, and obviously it would be the perfect complement for a pair of Warthogs. When the parcel arrived, it was a very exciting experience to review their product. The quality was superior and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. I picked up a parcel that I knew was my Warthog conversion. You can tell by the cover art that I couldn't wait to try it out. I had the box open even before I was out of uniform. The video review for the left-handed Warthog included all the information that you would need to decide if it was right for you and how to go about getting one made for yourself. When 2.5 was dropped, we got shopping and some other goodies. I updated 2 loadouts on 2 ships that could actually mount a size 5 bearing M7A. I also updated the Sabre video by taking the M5As from a pair of Xi'an Scouts for a full fixed loadout. It performed very well and I'm interested in testing it on the updated balance. We then got a leak on the Aegis Hoplite. This allowed us to correctly hypothesize that the variant would be its own hull and that we wouldn't be able to use a battlefield upgrade. I'm actually planning to pick one up when it's released on 2.6, providing it isn't over $300. The very specific gameplay that it'll offer is very tailored to the types of missions that we plan to do in our org. That was the end of August and I was at 6,000 subscribers. I put together a studio walkthrough and a rundown of my hardware to answer frequent questions that I was getting. Anticipating some leaked speed changes that were pushed to Reddit, I started to investigate the quick ships as fighters. The Deadly Loadout series for the M50 and the 350R proved that they could be formidable foes in the right hands. CIG released the first really solid demo of Star Marine. The short clip had solid frames, good hit reg, and inspired confidence in the future of the project. That was September, and I was sitting at 7,200 subscribers. The dual joystick binding series would let me showcase an infinite number of unique setups used by Star Citizen content creators. Bad News Baron, Buzzkiller, Commander Z-Man, Nimrod 77, Red Lear, Board Gamer, and Meyer. The list is going to grow, don't worry. Enemy Contact was practicing on a training night, and the decision was made that we would use a freelancer to EVA to security port Korea. I was very happy that the camera was actually recording. Standing in a freelancer with the door open at Quantum with 7 other org mates was a surreal experience. There was a space battle, shots were coming from all over, and Echo, who was flying, counted down the drop. Perfectly timed, we left the ramp directly over the station and EVA'd down to the doors. CitizenCon was around the corner. It was October 1st and I was approaching 8,000 subscribers. The best part about CitizenCon this year was that I was going. Paul at HCS played a major role in making sure I could get there in one piece, and I was very excited to spend some time with him. I tried my hand documenting the experience in a pair of vlogs. The event itself was awesome. So the real question, was the show a disappointment? Because I was on site, disappointment was practically impossible. It did fall short of the list of some expectations. We didn't see Squadron 42, and we didn't see Star Marine. The planetary tech demo was really great, however some of us felt like we'd already seen it before. That doesn't mean that I was upset, and that doesn't mean that I lost confidence. I was actually very happy that nothing was pushed before it was ready. When I got home, I made my second editorial style video. My thoughts and my perspective on the project. It was called, I'm Not Worried About Delays, and Neither Should You. October 11th, and I was at 8,000 subscribers. Right after I got home, I started to talk with Raul on Discord. Over the course of a couple weeks, the conversation covered a bunch of topics, and eventually he ended up with a question. What would you say if I gave you an 890 jump to give away on your channel? This was his way of massively supporting what I was trying to achieve. It's very evident that he has a real passion for the game and the community. The giveaway video broke every record to date. My phone rings every time one of you comments on any of my videos. I have it set like that because it's very important to me that I read every single thing that you say. My phone was practically useless for the first 14 hours of that contest. That was really exciting, and it drove me to try even harder. The video 890 Jump What You Need to Know was an obvious topic with the 890 up for grabs. Later on, that video would see a spike during the anniversary sale. What the Fuckosaurus invited me to join him and Board Gamer live on his stream to watch the anniversary sale. It was such a great way to enjoy the stream. I also found out why people don't wear black t-shirts on stream, and it was a great way to interact with the community. Thanksgiving in the USA meant that Twerk17 would be busy with his family, which opened up a spot for me finally to participate on the Redacted Weekly podcast. A totally unique experience compared to making YouTube videos. That was exactly the type of thing that I built a studio for, and I hope to have an opportunity to do that again in the future. Finally, I'm happy to end this story on a big one. I casually started to research the ship development process known as the pipeline. There was never any plans to do a video on that subject. I knew that it was covered in the past, and I felt that it would be lame and redundant. I kept working on the script, adding more and more as I researched. The script process took over 18 hours throughout that week. I committed to making the video, and I wanted it to be the best with every single thing that I learned that whole year. The editing took an entire Sunday because of the length and the thickness of the content. Was it worth it? Hell yes. The video hit hard, and I instantly got the sense that it was going to do great. I watched as the view graph went straight vertical. The community really seemed to like it, and more importantly, they were sharing it with their friends. There's a special type of satisfaction when you see the effort pay off. I love bringing people the information that they're looking for in a simple video. I also love researching the crap out of something so that others don't have to. My mind was once again blown away. Driving home from work, in a new city, with a new job, history repeated itself. My text-to-speech on the phone said simply, "Congratulations." And then another from What the Fuckosaurus that read, "Congratulations Nubifier for this week's MVP." I actually stopped at the side of the road and started to watch ATV on my phone. Tyler, who's our community manager, confirmed what the others had posted. The ship pipeline video was worthy of MVP. What a fantastic way of closing out a year growing from 4 subscribers. If you made it this far, stay tuned, the story isn't over yet. As I said, today is my 1-year anniversary, and I needed to do something special. I've made so many great friends in my org Enemy Contact, the Redacted team who I consider my mentors, brothers and sisters, Moonshiners, Red Lear, Meyer, Gamble, Astropub, and others. Thanks obviously to you, the 12,000 Star Citizens who subscribed to me this year. Get ready for the good part. To help me mark this occasion, Raul has once again donated a monster of a ship to the community, an LTI Aegis Reclaimer. If you see this man in the verse, please take the time to say hello and thank you. There will be a video dedicated just for the giveaway launched today. Please help me thank Raul by sharing the video with everyone that you know. Right, so that's it. I really hope you liked this voyage and I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. My goal as always is to grow this channel and I can't do that without the help of citizens like you. Take care, fly straight, and I'll see you in the verse.